First of all, it feels like hosting a podcast is like the greatest hall pass to just be like, hey, I have a podcast. I'd love to have you on. So you get to meet essentially whoever you're brave enough to ask to be on the show, which is so exciting to me because I'm very socially awkward. I'm an introvert, and I can be extroverted, but it takes a lot of effort. And so this is such a great pass for me to invite people on. But what I'm really looking for is someone that seems interesting. I think we might have good chemistry on screen. And most importantly, they're going to connect with my audience and have something that my audience really wants to hear or learn about.
Yeah, for me, I don't really actually directly message people and ask them to come on. Like originally, that's how I kind of started. I was like finding people who I wrote about originally. I ended up having them on my podcast. So I already had that network. But what I started doing was I just invited people to like apply to be a guest. Basically, it was just a DM. Just message me if you're interested. Tell me why you'd be interested and what topic you want to talk about. And what I really seek out is like how unique and niche the topic is. Sometimes people want to talk about things like mental health, but that's too broad of a topic nowadays. Like, you could go so much more into that. So I kind of see like how niche the topic is that they want to talk about, but I also see how comfortable are they in being vulnerable. Like I've had some episodes in the past where like, they're kind of repeating things that they read on like Psychology Today, and it wasn't about their own personal story. So now I'm a little bit more picky about like, are they going to open up and share their own stories? But other than that, like I often have anyone who reaches out often hops on. It's just more so like me emphasizing to them that I really want them to be vulnerable when they hop on and share, because a story really does support a lesson and a fact. So
yeah, for the New Degree Press program, it's a little bit different in that we actually do auditions. So we sort of take that idea there to maybe a different level, and it's part of the training process. And the criteria we look for as they go through the auditions, concise, creative, compelling are really the three areas we focus on. Can you tell your story and make it memorable in 2 minutes? And again, that's not easy to do. You've just spent a year working on a book, in long form with tons of time to edit. Now you have to say it live in front of somebody, which is really interesting. Is it creative? Are you helping us feel that story and dive in deeply? And is it compelling? Am I going to remember this? Did you structure it in a way that gives it a compelling and memorable, if you will, structure to it, so I can actually remember what you took away or the key elements you want me to take away. And that's really what we look for. And it's been really fascinating going through that journey and seeing some people really embrace the moment, and others find it as a really great learning experience to figure out, oh, wow, I've got some work I need to do here. But it's been fantastic going through that process of learning and helping people get a little more, find that blend between structure and storytelling to help people follow along, but also rope them in emotionally.
100%. That training is super valuable because then it helps the authors to adequately prepare for other speaking events, for their next, after their first, for their second, their third, their fourth, and to like land those other things and get used to talking about their book in shorter form ways.
I would tell you, Mackenzie, that is such a great point. And that's really the idea, not to get on this show necessarily because there's 150, 200 authors, so we can't do that many episodes. But really, as I often say to everyone, don't think about this as your sort of number one podcast. Think about it as one of 15 to 20 you're going to get on to go promote your book. And it takes practice. I mean, when we see celebrities do it on TV, they make it look so simple because they've done it 100 times, right?
Yep.
And we take that for granted sometimes.